This class is meant for absolute beginners who have never done a yoga sequence before. One of my goals in this sequence is going to be to teach you some of the foundational movements so that if you go to a yoga class, you'll already kind of be clued into how people move. Personally, the way I use yoga is part of an exercise program I follow that has strength days, cardio days, and yoga days. And so because of that, my major goals in yoga class are mobility, flexibility, and rest. There's some tips I can give you in order to go ahead and serve yourself in achieving the goals of flexibility, mobility, and rest as we go through your yoga sequence. And all of these tips are going to come down just to breath. For yoga poses as we practice them, one of the things you should know is that there's very little benefit in static stretching, which means you should never be completely still. And the key to this is the breath. Make sure your breath fills you completely every inhale and then it empties completely every exhale. And that way every pose is always in motion as we go through them. In terms of rest, I would just say this is actually a really important goal. Andrew Huberman often talks about NSDR, or non-sleep deep rest, and how we as humans need to be more active about non-sleep deep rest in our lives. So the keys in order to feel restful as we go through our yoga practice are: number one, settle into your breath. Put your attention in your body and the sensations going on in your body. It'll help you have a really restful mindset. And then the other tip about rest as we go through yoga poses comes to us from like the modern yoga prophet. His name is Patanjali and he wrote a book. In it, he gives 2 words about poses, and the 2 words are sthira sukham, and in Sanskrit this means steadiness and ease. And so all of the poses we go through, give your attention to your breath, and your goal is steadiness and ease. And remember, steadiness is not static. Steadiness is as you breathe, having strong, steady posture, and then ease, so we want to make our poses easy. With all that said, we'll go ahead and begin. But the first thing I'd like to tell you is if this is the first thing in the morning, maybe you want to go for a walk first. Stretching our back before we walk can be really destructive on the discs. And so I'd say go for a 5 to 10 minute walk before you do any yoga in the morning. And with that squared away, get your space and clothes ready, and let's go ahead and get started. Child's pose is a restful back lengthener to start. So you have 2 options. You can either keep your knees together or you can send your knees the width of your mat and then take an inhale, really extend your spine long, open your chest, and as you exhale, fold forward over your legs. And then deep inhale. You should feel the side ribs expanding as you inhale deeply, and as you exhale, just give into gravity. Deep inhale, long exhale. If it feels better, your arms can go back towards your heels, or you can send them forward. Deep inhale, long exhale. As you inhale, go ahead and reach your arms forward in front of you. As you exhale, just stretch into your shoulders a little bit. You can tent up on your fingertips. And then deep inhale here. As you exhale, push into your feet, come up into a tabletop position, stack your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. As you exhale, push the ground away, round your back. And then as you inhale, your heart opens forward, drop your belly and curve your spine. This is cat and cow sequence. Exhale, push away the ground, round your back into cat. As you inhale, your belly goes towards the ground, arching your back. Chest opens forward, shoulders wide in cow. Exhale to cat, push the ground away. And inhale to cow, just warming up the spine, opening it up. Exhale to cat. Inhale, rounding the spine. The research says it's useful to do cat-cow for about 5 to 8 rounds. Exhale, push away the ground. And inhale, come into cow, arching the back. As you exhale, let the spine come to neutral. Take the middle fingers of your hands and rotate your palms so your middle fingers face each other. We're going to stretch out the wrists a little bit. Push the ground away and lock your shoulders out. And then lean side to side. You can follow your breath, just stretching out your wrists a little bit. Remember, run away from pain. If it feels good, do it. Some discomfort can be okay. Never pain. Go ahead and rotate your hands the other way. So rotating to the outside, your middle fingers point towards your knees. And then you can come up on the toes and lean back. And so maybe you get a little stretch in the feet, opening them up. Maybe you get a deep stretch in the wrists. As always, no pain. And then go ahead, flip your hands over, and then with your palms up, pointing towards your knees, go ahead and you can lean into your wrists again or lean into your toes, just stretching out those wrists, opening them up. Some people have really tender wrists, and we often ignore them when we come into yoga class. And then come back and reset your tabletop pose. Your wrists are probably a little bit tired. So send all of your weight into your left hand. Inhale your right hand to the sky. Exhale, reach your right arm through and tap the back of your shoulder on the ground. Inhale up to the sky again. Exhale, reach through and tap that shoulder. Inhale all the way up to the sky. Exhale, reach through and reach through as far as you can. Send the back of the shoulder to the ground, maybe the back of the head. Maybe you bring the left arm up towards 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, and then exhale, recenter the hips over the heels. Inhale to a long spine. Exhale, recenter the hips. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, recenter the hips. Inhale to a long, long spine. And as you exhale, bring your left arm back to center if it's not. Inhale your right arm all the way to the sky. Exhale, come back to tabletop. Go ahead and recenter your shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. Send your weight into your right hand. Inhale your left arm up to the sky. Exhale, reach through, tap the back of that shoulder. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, reach through. Inhale all the way up. Last one, reach up. Exhale, reach through as far as you can. Bring the back of the shoulder to the ground, maybe the back of the head. Maybe reach up towards 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock. And then exhale, recenter the hips over the knees. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, recenter the hips. 2 more breaths here. And on your next exhale, bring your right arm back to center. Inhale, your arm all the way up to the sky. And exhale, reset up your tabletop. With your tabletop set, take a deep inhale. Exhale, send your left leg back. Inhale, your right arm forward. Just balance. Feel the engagement in your core all the way around, holding in your organs in the front. Your lower left of your back, super engaged to hold that leg up. Just breathe into it. Don't let anything be static. Deep inhales, long exhales. Deep inhale. As you exhale, bring your arm to the ground and then fold your leg behind the other knee. And then with both of your legs crossed behind you, go and sit behind your heels. So it's a deep hip stretch. You can inhale, get a long spine. Exhale, push your legs away with the leg muscles. Like use your hips to push the legs away. And then inhale, long spine, sit up straight. Exhale, fold forward a little bit. Don't bend your spine, just leaning into the fold. Deep inhales, long exhales. This is where it gets fun, right? As you exhale, go ahead and come forward, reset up your tabletop. Deep inhale here. Exhale, send your right leg back. Inhale, left arm forward. Feel that strong engagement in your core. Deep breaths. As you exhale, bring that left arm to the ground, fold the right leg behind the left leg, and then with the knees tucked in together, sit back between the legs and get that deep hip stretch. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, push the legs away with the hip muscles. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, lean forward. Deep inhales, long exhales. On your next exhale, go ahead and roll forward across the legs. Reset up your tabletop again. From tabletop, leave your hips stacked above your knees and then send your arms towards the front of the mat and bring your chest and chin towards the ground. So this is knees, chest, and chin. Anahata Asana. It's heart opener pose. Knees, chest, and chin. Deep inhales, long exhales. It should be a deep stretch in the upper back. Long inhale, long exhale. And then your next inhale fills you and you begin to come up. Shift your shoulders over your elbows and then go ahead and come laying on the ground, the prone position, and then stack your shoulders over your elbows. Your hands are flat on the ground. Open your chest forward and then think forward and up with your chest. So it's really opening with your shoulders. This is Sphinx pose. Deep inhales, long exhales. As you take a deep inhale, begin raising up your hips, bring them back, come back almost to tabletop, but your arms are still extended significantly forward, maybe about 45 degrees to the ground. Open your feet to the ground, and then send your hips back like a really long back. And then as you inhale, lift your knees just 10 centimeters off the ground. Send your hips way back. So make a long, long line from the fingers all the way to the back of the hips. And then as you exhale, maybe begin to extend your legs back. If your legs stay bent, it's perfectly fine. So inhale, long, long spine, kick those hips back. And then exhale, maybe you extend the legs. And then the last thing is maybe your heels begin to drop towards the ground. Push your weight into your fingers. The eyes of the elbows should be pointed in towards each other. You can look down or wherever it feels good in your neck. You can relax your neck completely. But the first thing is long, long spine. Push the ground away. Deep inhale. Long exhale. Shift your left foot towards center. Inhale your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bring your right foot through near your right hand. Your left knee comes to the ground. Inhale, bring your hands up to the knee. And then exhale, extend that hip down and forwards. This is low lunge. If you feel good and stable here, stretching out that hip feels nice, just stay here. Otherwise, inhale, you can send your arms to the sky. Exhale, that hip goes forward and down. There should be no sensation in your lower back. Run from pain, pay attention to your body. Deep breaths. And then an inhale begins to bring you out. Exhale, your arms go to the ground. Send that leg all the way up and back. Inhale here. Exhale, your feet meet in center. Inhale, your left leg to the sky. Exhale, left leg comes forward. Foot near where the left hand is. Lower the right knee to the ground. Inhale, your hands come up to your knee. Exhale, send that hip down and forward. Deep breaths. Stretching out that hip, low lunge. And then if you feel good here and you want another step, inhale, send your arms to the sky. Hands are facing in towards each other. Exhale, send that hip down and forward. Inhale, begin to come out. Exhale, hands go to the ground. Send that leg back up to the sky. Inhale here. Exhale, your feet meet. And as you exhale, just walk the feet forward towards your hands. When your feet get towards your hands, go ahead, stand all the way up. So at the top of your mat, this is mountain pose. Go ahead, your feet can be together or they can be hip width, whatever feels better to you. Personally, I like my feet together. And then go ahead and extend the surface area of the bottom of your feet as much as you can. Like get a wide foot against the ground. And then go ahead and lay your toes down. Get it just as much area on the ground as you can. And then inhale, feel like there's a fishing wire pulling out of the top of your head. So you get nice and tall. And then your weight comes back towards your heels, just about 60%. So just engage your ankles a little bit. The shortest line you can possibly make from your belly to your sacrum. So it means that your core is engaged just a little bit. The shoulder blades are down the back and pulled together just a little bit, just to get a wide chest. And then your ears stack over your shoulders. Deep breaths, mountain pose. So you've got that mountain pose set up. From there you can tell it's quite engaged. It's not a relaxed standing pose at all. Here are the first movements of sun salutation, which is the most common sequence in yoga. Inhale, send your arms overhead. As you exhale, bend your legs deeply. And as you bend your legs, go ahead and fold forward. We fold forward a lot in yoga. And standing forward fold, the first key is to make sure you bend your legs deeply. As soon as you get tension in the back of the legs, you also have tension in the lower back. And so you should never push into it. Like, bend the legs deeply, fold forward as far as you can. And then if it feels right, go ahead and extend the legs long. And whenever they get tight, that's fine, just stop there. Maybe you'll end up being super forward folded and maybe your legs will get long, maybe they won't. Wherever you are is where you are today. Deep breaths, inhale to a long spine. Exhale, feel the back of your legs, deep stretch. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, feel the stretch in the back of your legs. On your next inhale, bring your back up to parallel with the ground. You can tripod your hands against the legs. This is half standing forward fold. It's a great back strengthener and always an option. Every time a class forward folds, if it doesn't feel good to you, you should do something like this instead because it protects the lower back. Deep breaths. You should be super engaged, wide chest. And then as you inhale, send the arms way overhead. Exhale, hands come down to prayer, and then you can release. So this is a half sun salutation. Let's do it all together. Go ahead and inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, bend deeply in the legs, fold forward. And then inhale, if it feels good, you can extend the legs. Exhale, deep. As you inhale, come up to half standing forward fold, super engaged in the core. Exhale here. Inhale, arms overhead, and exhale to prayer. Half sun salutation. Let's go one more time. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, bend deeply in the legs, forward fold. Inhale, long legs if it feels good. Exhale, deep. Inhale, long spine, half standing forward fold. Exhale here. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to prayer. And then go ahead and release to mountain pose. Feel that engaged core, wide chest, your weights in your heels a little bit, wide feet on the ground. Cool, so from the top of your mat, let's do a little bit of strengthening. As I noted, my goal in yoga practice is not strengthening, but mobility is going to the end of range of motion while you have engaged muscles. So we need to do some strength work in order to increase mobility. Take an inhale, set up your mountain pose, wide chest. Exhale, bend deeply in your legs, reach down and tickle the outside of your feet. Inhale, send your arms up, wide chest. This is chair pose. Also awkward pose, Utkatasana. Deep breaths. If you need more engagement, lower the hips. The knees should not come out over the toes. They should be behind the toes. So you have a ton of weight in the heels, no weight really in the balls of the feet. So you're sitting way back like you're sitting in a chair, hence chair pose. Inhale here. Exhale, your hands come to prayer, elbows wide. Twist to your left. Hook your elbow on the outside of that leg. Inhale, long spine. This is twisted chair pose to the left. Deep breaths. Inhale to a long spine. Exhale, sit deeply in that chair. Get those knees behind the toes. Twist deeply. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, deep twist, sit deep, and then let go of the elbow. Inhale to center. Exhale, let's twist the other way. Hook that left elbow on the outside of the legs. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, sit deeply, twist. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, sit back. Inhale. Last exhale, long. As you inhale, unhook the hands, come back to center. Exhale, push through the heels. And for mountain, go ahead and shake out the legs a minute. How's that feel? All right, mountain pose again from the top of your mat. Some of the most common poses in yoga are warrior poses. And the main key to warrior poses are your hips are either open forward directly or your hips open completely to the side. So let's go ahead and do a Warrior One sequence. Warrior One, your hips are always pointed directly forward. So go ahead and take your mountain pose, top of the mat. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, lift that left leg high. Inhale here. Exhale, reach that left leg back as far as you can, slowly, steadily, and then wherever it falls, come up on the balls of the feet, and then inhale, send the arms high. This is high lunge. Inhale high, exhale, send that hip deep, work in those legs, stable on your feet. So this is high lunge. And then if you go ahead and seal the back foot against the ground at 45 degrees, you'll have to open the hips a little bit to do it. And then exhale, close those hips forward. Strong legs. This is Warrior One. So in Warrior One, the hips are pointed straight forward like headlights. The foot is 45 degrees to the back of the mat. And then you're bending deeply. Inhale, looking up, chest wide open, facing up. Deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Deep inhale. And as you exhale, go ahead and hop off that back foot. Bring that leg up in front of you. Inhale here. Exhale, and come back to mountain pose. If you want to shake out that leg, you can. We'll go ahead and do the other side. So go ahead and take your mountain pose. Inhale, set up that core engagement. Exhale, lift that right leg up. Inhale here. Exhale, send the right leg back. Super long, wide stance, slow and deliberate. And then inhale, come up high. High lunge with the foot open on the balls of the toes. Inhale here. Exhale, sit deeply in the hips. Send that hip down and forward. Deep breaths. And on your next exhale, seal that back leg against the ground. Hips are still pointing directly forward like headlights as much as you can. Back leg is at 45 degrees. Inhale, up. Exhale, sit deep. Deep breaths. Big inhale. And as you exhale, hop off that back foot, come up to standing, inhale up tall. Exhale, come back to mountain pose. So all of those are Warrior One orientation. We're gonna do Warrior Two orientation now. So set up your mountain pose. As you inhale, bring that left leg up high. Exhale, reach it back long, but this time when it lands, land your foot parallel to the back of the mat. And then open your hips super wide. If you want to widen the stance more, you can. And then inhale, chest wide open. Exhale, send the whole body wide. So this is Warrior Two pose, bending deeply in that front leg. It's my favorite because I have super tight hips. So I like poses in this orientation better for myself. Deep inhale. Exhale, sit deep in your legs. Feel strong against the ground, strong base. Deep inhale. As you exhale, go ahead and tilt forward and bring the right arm inside of the leg to the ground. Reach the left arm up high. So this is modified side angle pose. Deep breaths. Still the hips are wide open. You probably feel a deep stretch in that right hip. Deep inhale. Exhale, bring the left arm to the ground. Go ahead and rotate on that back foot. Bring it back up like high lunge foot. And then inhale your right arm to the sky. This is twisted side angle. Deep breaths. Maybe you feel the stretch on the outside of the right hip. Really stretch into it. Do whatever feels good in your body. Breathe deep. Big inhale. Exhale, bring your right arm to the ground. Send that right foot towards the outside of the mat so you get your hands a little bit wider. And then, if it feels right for you, send your elbows to the ground. This is lizard pose. It's super deep hip stretch, and I love it. Deep breaths. Send your breath directly to that hip. Open it up super wide. Then take a deep inhale. As you exhale, go ahead and come back up to your hands. Go ahead and shift that leg in a little bit. Bring the hand outside of it. Inhale here. And as you exhale, a little hop, bend deeply in those legs, bring them together at the front of the mat. Inhale, come up tall, and exhale, mountain pose. We'll go ahead and do Warrior Two sequence on the other side. Deep inhale here in mountain. Exhale, lift up that right leg. Knee comes up high. Inhale here. Exhale, send that right leg way back. Open your hips to the side. Foot lands parallel to the back of the mat. Go ahead and widen the stance if it feels right. Inhale, super wide open chest. Exhale, send the arms wide. Sit deeply in the hips. Strong base against the ground. Deep breaths. This is Warrior Two. So in Warrior Two, the hips are perfectly flat. It's like a bowl of water. You can pour liquid into it. It wouldn't spill out at all. And then from there, the spine is stacked straight. Deep inhale here. As you exhale, tip forward and bring that left arm to the ground. Inhale, your right arm goes high to the sky. Side angle pose, or modified side angle pose. Hips are super wide, strong front leg. Deep inhale here. As you exhale, send the right arm to the ground. Spin on that back foot, up in on the toes. Inhale, left arm up to the sky, twisted side angle. Deep breaths. Feeling it in the hips, feeling it in the legs. Deep inhale. Exhale, send the arm to the ground. Go ahead and send that leg super wide. You can kick your legs further open if you want. And then if it feels right, come down to the elbows. Get really deep in those hips. Lizard pose. Deep inhale. Long exhale. Deep breaths. Deep inhale here. As you exhale, come up on the hands, push up. Go ahead and kick off that back leg. Bring it up to meet the front leg. And then inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to prayer, mountain pose. Go ahead and reset up your mountain. One last moment in standing to just feel what it feels like. Feel your body. Put your attention into it. Deep breaths. And then from that mountain pose, send your legs as wide as the yoga mat. Inhale, wide chest. Exhale, sit deeply in the legs. Send the hips back and all the way down. This is yogi squat. So if it feels right, you can use the elbows to expand the hips outwards. Twist a little bit, just move into what feels good in your body. Deep breaths, but just following those breaths. And then inhale deeply, beginning to come out a little bit. Your hands come to the ground. And go ahead and send your legs long. We'll meet in a plank pose. So pushing the ground away strongly, strong shoulders. It's like your back is almost convex. It's like, or concave, pushing the ground away. From there, roll to the outside of one foot. Inhale, one arm up to the sky. Exhale, come back to center in plank, and then inhale, roll to the other side. Feel this strongly in your core as you follow your breath, exhaling to center, inhaling to the other side. And in the core, you're super strong, holding in those organs. Just a few more rounds. As you exhale, go ahead and come back to center. Set up your plank pose. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, let the knees come to the ground. Go ahead and roll back. Sit behind your legs. And we'll come into Dandasana, staff pose. So sending the legs out strongly. If you want more, you could even lift the heels up. Engage those legs. And then your core is engaged. Chest wide, back straight, sitting up. And then inhale, wide chest. Exhale, bring one leg into you. Go ahead and step across the other knee. Hug that leg strongly. And then bring it into you, hug it. Feel the stretch in the outside of that hip. You can roll around on the hip on the ground also. Whatever feels good in your body, chase that. Deep breaths. Inhaling to a long spine. Exhaling to hug that leg. Inhale, let go of the hug, long spine. And then exhale, go ahead and reach across the leg. The other arm reaches behind you. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, deep twist. If it feels right, you could stay up here. If you want to get into the shoulder, you can kind of roll back into that shoulder a little bit. Feels nice sometimes to me. Always with a long spine, deep breath. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, turn towards center. Go ahead and send that leg back out. Inhale, coming back to Dandasana, staff pose. Deep breaths. Inhale here. Exhale, pick up the other leg, bring it towards you. Go ahead and step across the knee, hug around that leg. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, deep twist. Hugging that leg in strongly. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, strong hug. And then let go of the hug a little bit. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, reach across that leg. Reach behind you with your other arm. Tall spine, exhale, deep twist. And then if it feels right, go ahead and stay here in the twist with a long spine. Or as you exhale, go ahead and lean back into that shoulder. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, face center. Go ahead and release that leg out long. Meet up in Dandasana. Wide chest, engaged core, engaged quads. Inhale, sit up tall. And then as you exhale, go ahead and lay back on your back. So you might want to come long on the yoga mat. Go ahead and adjust yourself how it's most comfortable and come supine, laying down on the yoga mat. Deep inhale here. As you exhale, send your knees up to the sky. Inhale. And as you exhale, cross one ankle across the other knee. So this is figure four legs. Inhale. And as you exhale, reach through there and grab around the other leg. If it feels better, you can come around the outside of that knee, hold onto that leg, pull it in towards you. It's a deep hip stretch. So just getting into that figure four hip. Deep breaths. Big inhale. And as you exhale, send that foot to the ground. Send both feet to the ground. Inhale here. Exhale to cross the other ankle over the leg. Bring that leg in towards you. Either reach through and hold onto that knee, or reach around the outside and hold onto it. Pulling that foot in towards your shoulder, your chest, stretching out that hip. If it feels good to roll around, you can roll around. Deep breaths. And as you exhale, go ahead and send that leg to the ground. Send both feet to the ground. Inhale here. And as you exhale, cross one leg completely over the other. Inhale. And then the leg on the bottom, send that knee across your body. And then look the other direction. It's a big spinal twist. Using your legs to pull your spine one direction. The weight of your arm to pull it the other way. Inhale to a long spine. Exhale, deep twist. You might feel it in the hip as well. Inhale here. Exhale, use the arm. Go ahead and push the legs up to center. Exhale, both feet to the ground. Inhale. Exhale, cross over the other leg. Send that knee across your body, reaching out the other way. Inhale to a long spine. Exhale, deep twist. Inhale, super long. Exhale, use that arm to push your knees back up to center. Exhale, both feet against the ground. Inhale here. And as you exhale, send your feet up to the sky. You could take a hold of the outside of your feet. Your knees go into your armpits. This is happy baby pose. You can pull on one leg or the other, roll around a bit, massage your back if it feels right. Be like a happy baby. And then inhale here. Exhale, send your legs long on the ground. We're headed into Shavasana. Many people say the most important pose in yoga, or the most difficult pose in yoga. It's dead man's pose, completely at rest. Big inhale. And just let it go. Coming into rest after the work we've done. Another big breath. And let it go. And then let's actively look for any tension in the body and release it. Start in the toes. Any distractions, let them go. And then the feet, all the tension melts away. The ankles, the calves and shins, and the knees, everything below the knees, let it go. The thighs relax. The butt relaxes completely. And then take your time to work your way around the hips. From the inside of the hips, relax and release to the front of the hip, the outside of the hip. Continue to revisit any tension you find, just letting it go again and again and again. The abdomen releases, the side body and the back. Start with the lower back, relaxing and releasing. The mid back, the upper back, the lats in your armpits, your trapezoids where the back meets the neck, and the chest releases, your whole torso just completely relaxed. As your hands relax, maybe your fingers curl a little more, and your forearms and wrists relax. Your elbow and your biceps and triceps, your deltoids and full shoulders. Next, we'll go and release the neck. Start at the front of the neck. Relax all the little muscles, all the connections with the chest. Relax the sides of your neck and the back of your neck, the big muscles behind your head. Into the back of your head, all the little muscles on the sides of your head and around your ears, relax them all. The top of your head and your brow, let it melt away. And then your eyebrows relax, your cheeks relax. As you relax your eyes, maybe it feels like they sink into your head just a millimeter or two. Relax your nose and your lips. As your tongue relaxes, maybe it sinks back into your mouth. And then your chin and your jaw relax. Scan through your body again. Find any tension and release it. We'll spend just a few more breaths finding and releasing tension, feeling how your body feels right now. Let your inhale deepen a little bit, and then just let it go. And your inhale a little deeper again. And if you're ready, then as you let it go, bend your legs and use your feet. Roll onto your side, whichever side feels good. Just beginning to come out. And then on an exhale, push and really use your arms to come up into an easy seat, whatever that feels like for you right now. Inhale to a tall spine and exhale. Just release. When you're ready, blink your eyes open. Well, how was this? I hope you really enjoyed it. My real goal was to introduce you to the general ideas of the movements in yoga class. So if you go to a yoga class, you'll feel at home and be able to jump right in. And if you'd like to take some next steps in beginner series of yoga, I'll have some coming out soon here. This is the Stoic Yogi, out.